So while Allison and I both believe that it's important to both love and respect all the animals on our farm, including the wildlife, our hearts have a very special place for Pablo barncat, Lil barncat, and Toby the livestock guardian dog. They are the three animals that truly straddle the line between working animals with jobs that they have to do on our farm, as well as adorable pets that we love to pamper and shower with affection. Where's Lil barncat? There you are. What you up to, Lil barncat? Huh? Lil barncat is the really skittish one who doesn't like human contact, but when you do pick her up and cuddle her, she's so adorable. Hey, Pablo, buddy. How are you doing this morning, huh? Now, the first animal that we ever got on our farm was actually Pablo barncat, AKA Pablo Escobar. He was actually the cat of some friends. He kind of had a sordid past, which I've detailed in other videos, but needless to say, he was kind of unwanted. And Allison had recently moved up here to the farm by herself. I was still working in Washington, D.C. And so we got her Pablo as both a protector of the barn and helping us control the rodent population, as well as a friendly, cuddly friend. And pretty quickly, Pablo and Allison bonded. Me, I'm kind of allergic. Anytime you're ever seeing me hold him, I usually immediately follow that shot with a session of compulsive hand washing. So in the earliest days of Goldshaw Farm, even when I moved up here and even before we got the ducks and even before we got Lil, we had Pablo. Later that spring, some friends of ours had kittens and we ended up adopting one, and that turned out to be Lil barncat. Really on our farm at first it was just barncats. We added the ducks not too long after Lil. Actually, as I think about it, I think in the span of like 1 week, we had a kitten and duckling show up on our farm. You've got to stay out here. You cannot be in this room. So we were kind of on cuteness extreme overload at that point. And so for the first couple of years, our farm existed without any sort of dog. But as you guys know, we've had predator issues. They've attacked our ducks. So it really seemed like a good idea to get a livestock guardian dog on our farm. Hey, Toby dog. How you doing this morning, pal? Huh? Did you have a good night? Yeah, did you see any coyotes? Hi, buddy. How are you doing today, huh? Yeah, how's it going? All right, we're gonna let the ducks out. You ready? You ready? Release the Kraken! What's the matter, girl? Jemima's still sitting on her eggs. I'm starting to wonder if she's going broody. Good morning, geese. How's it going? Why do you always try to eat my hand? Come on out. Out you go this morning. Come on out. Out you go. Look, Toby is an adorable, soft, cuddly, lovable fluff ball. He is one of the most chill dogs you could ever meet, but he's still a ball of puppy energy, and I think he scares the bejesus out of the barn cats. I had my concerns that the barn cats would not be big fans of this move, but I didn't quite expect the reaction that we ended up getting. And even though he has the best of intentions and he is as sweet as he could possibly be around them, they do not like him at all. In his earliest days of puppyhood, They barely tolerated him.
Wish you weren't so f***ing awkward, bud.
But at this point, Pablo and Lil try to keep their distance as much as possible. And Toby, God bless him, he has absolutely been undaunted. He sees those barn cats and he wants to play with them. He thinks that they're his buddies. He wants to be a part of their pack, but he has no clue that those fluffy little cats have no interest in him whatsoever. In fact, they hate him. And generally speaking, I'm left wondering, what can I actually do about the whole thing? I mean, it's kind of a tough go of it for Toby when you think about it, right? He's the only dog on the farm. The ducks are kind of terrified of him. The geese try to intimidate him. Yeah, Toby, you kind of have to keep your distance from those geese. In fact, I think I might be the only big dumb animal that loves that big dumb animal on this farm. You know, Pablo has had a little bit of a checkered past when it comes to dogs. You know, at one point, one of his owners actually adopted him solely for the purpose of seeing if her dog could handle living with a cat. Her father was coming to live with her and he had this like very cherished cat that he loved. And she was afraid that her dog, who had eaten a cat once before, would attack her father's beloved cat. She adopted Pablo from a friend of ours in the name of seeing if he could handle living with her dog. So Pablo is basically a cat version of a gladiator.
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus.
When she first introduced her dog to Pablo, the dog got right up into Pablo's face and started barking and snarling, and Pablo just went right up to him and smacked him in the face and hit him in the nose, and it actually brought on blood. That dog never messed with Pablo after that point. So I've always had this fear that Pablo and Toby would potentially go at it, and you know, Pablo gets aggressive with Toby and then Toby gets aggressive back, and it just would get ugly, and you know, one or both of our pets would get hurt. But so far that hasn't been the case yet. Morning, chickens. How are you doing, girls? You love watching those chickens, huh, Pablo? The way Pablo goes around looking at all the different animals, sometimes I feel like he's at his own personal zoo. Would you look at that? There's pieces of Toby everywhere. Definitely a sign that winter is over and spring is here. You're shedding all over the place, buddy boy. Do you think you guys could ever be friends? Huh, Pablo? Do you think you could ever be friends with this big galoot? Come here, Toby. Aw, maybe you guys could be friends. Yeah, that's it. Now, Pablo, don't get mean. He just means the best. Even though he's a little annoying. Pablo has started to go and try to eat Toby's food on a regular basis. So Pablo, much like me, eats way too darn much. He will eat all of his own food. He will eat Lil's food. He will eat mice and chipmunks and other rodents that he catches. And now he has started to sneak into Toby's house and eat his food. All right, Toby, time for bedtime. What's the matter? You want to eat your supper? Pablo, what are you doing, man? You got to get out of there. Come on, go. Get out. Go. Okay, buddy. Enjoy your supper. Pablo, I don't know why you're always trying to steal the Toby food, huh? What's up with that? I worry about this trend just a little bit, though, because, you know, when it comes down to it, food can be an aggression trigger for dogs. And you know, as I think about a potential Toby-Pablo conflict that actually does get really violent, I would worry that like food would be the thing that triggers it. But oddly enough, what I've noticed is actually that the food has become a good relationship builder for Pablo and Toby. You know, for dogs, the way the pack hierarchy is often established is by who gets to eat first in the pack. And effectively, what Toby has started to do and has learned to do is he defers to Pablo and lets Pablo get a little bit of a taste before Toby ultimately eats his food. It's a little weird and it's a little unconventional, and I'm sure a lot of you guys down in the comments are going to tell me I'm stupid for doing it, but I've also noticed that their relationship is getting a little bit better. Rather than actually fighting with Toby, I've noticed Pablo has moved to a much more playful, I think it's actually a positive, the way they're starting to interact with each other. I know that long term what I really need to do is get a second dog, a companion for Toby. Number one, he's going to be a more effective guard dog, and number two, I think socially it'd be positive for him. But I'm waiting for him to get fully trained up so he can help me train that new puppy. So that's going to probably still be about a year away from now before I get that second dog. But until then, I guess he has his pack of cats to hang with. But I don't think Lil Barn Cat's ever going to like him though.